Okay, it says we are live. Okay, so if you can hear me on YouTube, please type 1. Can hear me. Okay. I don't know if
Is that
anyone's
a?
on. Is there people there?
I wonder if it's a perk for like Disco, like Discord Nitro users or what?
You're on Nitro?
Yeah, I'm a Nitro.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Moneypants.
I gotta pay the $100 a year to use my gifts.
Alright, fair enough.
And there's only 4 people in the YouTube stream right
Oh,
now.
they can't hear me. Well, I guess. Well, if they can hear me or not, I don't know. Anyways, let's just keep going then. I'm gonna start with the music, and then I will give you guys the cue. It looks like Ogre's here too. All right, cool.
Okay, they can hear us.
Here we go. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna start the music. Okay. All right. Hey guys, we're here to bring you another episode of the KHODDcast, and this is the month-end recap for July. So we're actually going to do 2 of these moving forward, one for the middle of the month and one at the end of the month when we're doing raids, like we are today. So today on the show, we have Hate, Ogre, Kage, and Loot. Say hi, guys.
Hey guys.
Okay,
Hey guys.
sweet. And we also have a special guest on the show. We have Kyle, aka Kyle Learn. Say hi, Kyle Learn.
What's up?
All right, great. So today, what we're going to do, since we're dividing up the episodes into 2 parts, one in the middle of the month and one at the end of the month, we are going to split up what we normally talk about into basically 2 halves, and we're going to cover a little bit in each part. So what we're going to do this time around, we're just going to get to know the guest. This time, we're going to do a little bit of shop talk, talk about the July characters, what we think about the current raid that we're going through, and if we have time, we're going to talk about some of the August characters that we already know about and maybe we've tested with, and then sometime at the end of the show for some Q&A live on Discord. Again, if you're on YouTube or Discord, please write your questions in on, and we will answer them on air. If you're on Discord, I can give you talking permissions if you want to ask your question live on air. Make sure you have your mic set up. Okay, so let's get started with getting to know our guests. So, Kyle, tell us a little bit about you, your history with DCL, comics, and just and anyone, if you want to shout out anyone in the game or in the community, that would be fine too.
Okay, so I'm 29. Played most of. I played WoW for 8 years, so I know a lot of things about roleplay, anything. And I started playing DC Legends like 3 years ago. But the first year I played alone, and just after I started research an alliance, and I've been recruited by Ujla, who became later Black Lantern Corps, and now I'm playing with Guardians of the Universe. And that's a pretty difficult decision to make, because that was changing from 300 people to 30 people, but I don't regret anything. And I would like to put some shout out to all my brothers in Guardians, especially Alim, Chosen, and Gauntlet, but also some of my brothers and sisters in Black Lantern Corps, like GP, with the Amazon, and there is so much other. So here's the thing.
All right, sounds good. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, Calern's actually one of our French community members. We actually don't have that many French community members in the community. So I was speaking to Kyle about this earlier. We were both speaking in French because I'm French speaking as well. But if any of you guys out in the French community can also speak English, feel free to join the DCL Redditverse as well. We are mostly English speaking though, so that is something that you'll have to bear with. But Kyle,
I would have guessed you were straight up from France, dude.
you mean Kyle?
Yeah, Colin.
He is. He is from France.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
thought you said French Canada.
Oh, I'm French. I'm French Canadian. He's French.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, Kyle, how did you get into DCL and DC in general?
DC in general, I've started the Batman, the animated series, but I grew up without really focusing on comic stuff or things like that, and I've been in DC Legion by a friend who told me He told me try this game. It's not bad if you have some time. And then I started playing. Not an hardcore player, but more like a regular player. Then starting playing every day, playing higher in CH, in raids.
Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So, do you have any favorite characters in DC or DCL?
My heart would say Batman, but in DC Legend I don't have really a favorite character. They all have a strength, weakness, and I'm more like I upgrade a tune if he's meta, or I don't have a favorite. Not really.
Okay. Would you say you're a whale or a free-to-play player? What type of player would you be?
I'm a beluga.
A beluga?
Yeah.
So you're spending all those euros on this game. I see. I understand.
He's
No.
a baby beluga.
Baby.
Yeah,
right in between.
dolphin, beluga, whatever you want. But
Slightly
no,
above top.
that depends on of the months. Like this month, I've been crazy, but I don't think I will go hard for the next month.
So
It really depends.
this month you've been crazy. Is it because you're a Lantern fan?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I'm like a double twin. See,
nice. Cool.
Kyler, we had a question in chat. Do you have any RB5s?
no, my higher is Lex Rebirth 2. But I think I can Rebirth 3 him. But no, I don't have a lot of Rebirth 3 to tunes. I'm more like you take a tune to Rebirth 1 just for the gold border.
Sounds good. I'm about the same too. I get the gold border rebirths too, but I only get to rebirth 1. That's it. That's where I stop.
For example, I think I have like 16 or 17 Rebirth tune, but I only have 3 Rebirth 2.
I only have 1. I only have Superman rebirth 2. That's it.
Oh,
Because I'm a Superman fan. That's it. All right, cool. Also, to answer one of the questions in chat about me, I'm actually Canadian. I speak French, but I lived in Japan for a very long time. To clear things up, that's all. Okay.
But are you Japanese descent or Canadian descent?
I'm actually like Kage. I'm Vietnamese Chinese descent. Well, Kage's not Chinese, are you? You're not. You're just
Little bit.
Vietnamese. You are? Okay. So we're like
Yeah.
this. We're like the same, except I'm in Canada and he's in the U.S.
Yep, basically.
That's it.
Hey.
So let's
DP speaks like 10 different languages.
There's that too. All right, let's move on. Thanks, Kyle, for that, and we're going to continue with some shop talk. So there's a couple of things that were brought up recently, but the most important thing that we saw here was the rumors, or maybe it's not so much rumors anymore, that EA may be buying WB Games. Now, hey, you brought this up to our attention. Do you want to start on that?
I read through it. I have mixed feelings because on one hand, you're going to have, I'm not real familiar with the Star Wars version of our game, but on one hand, I think the possibility that DC Legends has a future and doesn't get shut down by a new company is higher with EA than most others because Star Wars is the code that DC Legends is built on, so their programmers obviously are going to have tremendous familiarity with everything that DC Legends does, how they use it. The other big positive is that they devote a ton of resources to the Star Wars version of the game, and with the new DC Legends or DC IP, they're going to have access to all the characters, access to all everything. So they're probably going to see it and say, "Hey, we can make a lot of money off this." So that's going to be the positives. The negative is that it is probably going to be more microtransaction, or maybe not microtransaction, but you're going to have more variable purchases. So on one hand, you're going to get a lot of new content. You're going to get probably the whole hacker and bug situation we're not going to see nearly as many problems with. But on the negative is you might get where it's, over to like 2Dtron saying in chat, the game's going to get more diluted and there's going to be more upgrades. You probably won't be able to have every character in the game maxed out anymore. You're probably going to have to stick to your niche type of thing without spending insane money, like where the whales look like, where we look like goldfish.
I think the alternative is they could just start over with new staff and go with like a DCL2. Or they could be like, who the heck are Kage and Hey? Like, we don't know you guys. Get off the WB's favorite list, and
That's funny.
But even then, I mean, we can still do content regardless. But
yeah,
the reason I don't think DC Legends 2 is likely, at least initially, is that the way the licensing is when they're purchasing these games, the way it's been reported is that you're buying the existing IP and a separate negotiation would have to be made for a sequel, which is one of the people are complaining about because you're kind of in that time frame that Injustice 3 should be coming out. So that's probably going to be part of the negotiations. I doubt a DC Legends 2 would be part of that. So they most likely would I don't see a reason as to why they would start over. They already have a base and they would just do Gear 12, Gear 13, level 100, just do a patch on top of it. So
Not only do they have a base, they might lose people too.
yeah, they don't want to lose people. They want to expand. So I think it's more likely they just throw content at an existing game and build it up to a significant population before they would even announce a DC Legends 2, if they even did one. I mean, Star Wars has been going on forever. It's been going on way longer than DC Legends. So,
Fair enough.
I think it'd be better.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, Ogre, did you want to say something?
I do. My question would be: are they even going when you say that they're buying it? Yes, okay, but does that include the staff facility at WB Games San Francisco? What is this entailing exactly? Is it just the IP stuff, or is it actually the staff and buildings and stuff too?
Anyone know how to answer that? Because I wouldn't know. Because we're all just speculating right now, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone has a real answer to that right now.
I think it's hard to tell. In a lot of
these
are just
rumors.
Acquisitions, they kind of get the whole thing, like the people do.
Yeah. If they
Yeah, I
buy
would
outright,
imagine
right?
I would imagine the employees just roll over.
Well, that's the thing. But the way Hate's talking is that people are not included in this one.
I don't know. They would get the studios. The
EA
studios are part
devs
of
and all
the.
this other stuff, and it's like, but would WB Games San Francisco not just become EA Games San Francisco? And I don't know.
It would,
It's a good question.
but they could move around the staff and
Exactly.
programmers and everything else.
Yeah, and also given the fact that our situation right now, a lot of people are working from home, so probably people would just basically pick up a new system and then still continue their work from where they are, and then just be working under a different title, right, or a different place, right? Like my company that I work for, they acquired another company that's a web-based company, and then they had their own building previously, and when they were acquired by my company, they continued working in that same building. It's just they put different names on the doors. That's about it, right? So I'd imagine something similar happening to that unless they overhaul the entire place, right? So
Yeah,
Right, and that's all I was trying to figure out.
But they would get the studios because when I was looking at the terms of what they're trying to sell, it's including the IPs for DC Legends, Injustice, all the different games, and the studios. They're not getting DC itself, but the existing licensing agreements for those characters and game IPs, and they would get the studios. So if they and this is just wishful thinking, if they were to throw all of the resources we want into DC Legends, they could use programmers from existing studios to partner with
100%.
Warner Brothers games, or maybe some of the things that Warner Brothers games that maybe DC Mothership wouldn't let them do, they'd suddenly be allowed to do or have the resources to do. We just don't know.
Fair enough. Color, what do you think about this potential acquisition by EA?
Well, I think it can be a good thing if they rework Race Arena. But I read something last week, I think, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. He's trying to. They test something like adding ads in their game to win some in-game stuff, And maybe it's a link between EA, them buying Warner Bros. So
I see.
I don't really know if there is a link between this and the actual buying, but maybe we'll see.
Okay, that's fair.
One of the questions that was in chat that's applicable to this, we'll answer now instead of waiting to the end. It's come from Carlise Wells, if I'm pronouncing that right, Kirsten. I don't know, however you pronounce it. He's asking, would we still be under contract with WB? We're not under contract. We have non-disclosure agreements we signed with them. So they ask us for feedback on certain items ahead of time at times. So that's really the only thing that we're tied to. Those may or may not roll over into the new company.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
So, I mean, I want to be optimistic about it, but given EA's track record and their whole approach to mobile games, I'm not really excited about it, but I guess we'll see it. Hopefully it'll bring about more change. But they are a big company, so it's something to think about. But I guess let's see what happens. Let's move on from that. So, the next topic, let's talk about actual game talks. So we'll talk about the characters for July. So we had Guy and Kilowog, and we had Jessica Cruz and Medfield reworked this time around. So let's start with Guy and Kilowog. So we finally finished the Siege, and we got Guy now. So did anyone have any more thoughts on Guy? I think, who's the only person who's played with Guy before? I think it was Loot. Was that right?
Yeah, I've used Guy. I used him all month.
Okay. And how do you feel now that you have him higher legendary?
I don't like him.
Okay.
I just think he's really bad. He's I don't know. I covered it on our tier listing, but he's pretty mediocre. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, that's fair. Kage, what do you think about Guy?
I don't have him geared or I've used him, so I'm gonna be honest with you right there.
Fair.
And he doesn't fit my playstyle, but I will say that I think he's on defense. I think he's pretty all right. His main perk is going to be the crit and damage immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking for damage, like if you're looking for Arcus, he's pretty much like a Diet Arcus.
Diet Arcus, I like that.
Actually, he's actually worse than a Diet Arcus. He's a Diet Arcus has been left out.
He's like a scrawny, like a super scrawny diet, like on his deathbed. Arcus.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Zero.
Yeah.
Basically, he's an unringed Arcus.
Okay.
Yeah, but
G10 Arcus.
but you don't need to run Aquaman lead anymore. You can just run Guy Gardner. So that's a thing.
That's interesting. That's a good point. That's a reasonable point. I like that. That's a good positive, I guess. Hey, is he still your slow gear?
Yeah, due to my favorite Up and Away mission, I am forced to slow gear him since Ra's al Ghul was a rework this.
So we don't really have any feedback on that, I guess.
Nah, I mean he didn't look great. He didn't look bad. I mean I wouldn't mind using him. He would have been very helpful for this raid, which we'll get to later. But
Sure.
yeah, he's unfortunately
Okay.
slow gear.
Kyle, you said that you actually went crazy this month. So did you buy a lot of Guy Gardner?
Yeah, mine is first one, and I didn't really use him in Siege, but in Raid he's a beast. He's the beast.
In raids? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, in Raid. But in Siege that was really strange because we didn't see him for the whole Siege. Just maybe the last 4 days I had like 4 teams on my board with, and it didn't really change anything because if you were running Medfield, Reverse Flash, Jessica, and Kilowog, that was just okay, fair enough. I just buff up and waited to destroy you.
Yeah.
So he is good. He's not bad. He's not the best, but you really need to build a team around him. I tried him with different teams like Revive, Enrage, anything, and I think you have to it in a long-term team. Sorry.
I remember some of my team members or my alliance mates showing like their damage outputs on some of the alliance bosses with Guy on the team, and they had like 100 million pretty easily with Guy. So I guess he is doing pretty well in raids. If you give him time, he builds up a lot, right?
Yeah, actually, the highest I got is like 10 million crit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
that's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. And if you play him with like Hippo, he just destroy your boss alone.
Interesting. Loot, sounds like you want to say something.
I did. I mean, I hear you that he's great in the raid. I think he's great in the raid because kind of for a few reasons. One, he's the 5x multiplier, so that immediately gives a big bonus to Guy for this raid. The other issue that we have this raid is everybody else sucks.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you.
We're gonna get to the raid talk in a second here, but yeah, I agree with you too. So we'll talk about that in a sec. I guess in terms of the guy talk, Ogre, do you have any? Do you have guy at like a reasonable level after you've unlocked or finished the siege?
No, I got like I don't even think I have 90 shards total.
Okay, fair enough. I guess we'll gloss
Like
over
I
that.
didn't even try in this siege.
Very fair.
I was like,
Not very interested in guy.
yeah, no, like after the pain that I went through for Artemis and for Parasite, I was just like, no, I could take a break on this one.
That's cool. That's fair. All right, let's move on, I guess, from Guy to Kilowog. I mean, do you guys? We did talk about Kilowog earlier this month. Does anyone have any new thoughts on Kilowog?
It's probably not new. He's a beast.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
Yep.
I think
Interesting.
maybe kill more fitting in different teams. Like, you can fit it in a lot of teams, like shield, stun, strength up, but his basic purge works is great too. But I think we will not really see him in a lot of teams except stuns. Team like that Mal got.
That's fair. Now, hate mail that you can springboard off that with your stun team. How do you feel about Kilowog now?
He's good. I haven't used him a ton, but I'm gonna have Hawk Girl RB5 on Monday tomorrow, and he's part of my Hawk Girl team for the strength ups. So I'm trying to keep a strength base mostly, so that he fits really well with that. I did get enough shards in the end to rebirth him 3 times, so I will eventually rebirth him. But my list is so dang long. And Dead Man's looking cooler and cooler, and when we mention next month, so
Yeah, I'm gonna be excited about talking about Dead Man.
Yeah.
All right. So let's. I guess who else do we have? Oh, Kage. What do you think about Kilowog? Do you have any good thoughts about him? Anything change?
Nothing bad about him. I doesn't fit my playstyle, but he's not a bad character.
All right. Loot. Any thoughts on Kilowog?
I like Kilowog. I think he's really good. Really enjoy using him.
Very solid, basically type of character, not like a bomb though, right?
He's not. Well, he's not like overpowered or anything, but
No.
he offers a lot of utility,
Mm-hmm.
and he punches pretty hard too.
Very fair. All right, it's a good assessment. All right, let's talk about the reworks. So, I mean, we did talk about them before. So we'll just gloss over it real quick. Anyone have any new thoughts on Jessica Cruz or Medfill? So I personally, I'll start with. I've been seeing Medfill a lot more than like throughout the month than I had at the beginning of the month. Maybe it's because people were getting more shards of him. But let's start with Kyle. What do you think about Medfill or Jessica Cruz?
I didn't use a Jessica a lot outside of Siege. I didn't really try her in any specific sim comp, but Medfield is really, really good. Can do a lot of things, damage immunity, taunt. His turn meter strength down is really, really. Yo, Wonder Girl, what's up?
All right, that's fair. Kage, did you have any changes on your thoughts of J. Cruz?
Not a bad character. Pretty good. That's all.
Anything about Medfield then?
I will say that Cruz kind of fits what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Medfield is a pretty cool control character, but you really need fast characters to really take advantage of what he does.
That's fair.
So I don't know if he'll be making a lot of appearances after this month, just because of how prevalent Lex is, and why would you use
Right.
him over Lex? But if the meta changes, I think you'll be seeing more of Medfield.
Cool. Let's see. So Ogre, I know that you played around with these characters a little bit, right? Or does your new account have these characters?
Like it doesn't have him, but I've played Metaphor for a long time back on my original account, and I understand how the changes work, and I watched plenty of footage for everybody else playing him. So, but like, here's the thing: you say there's no reason to take Medfill over Lex, and the short answer is if there's physical damage on the opponent team
Yeah.
versus special.
agree.
Like Lex is all int base, and Medfill is strength. So
That's right.
if you're trying to neuter a physical, Medfill is hands down the better choice.
There's actually that brings up a
That's
really
just-
good point. I remember when we first started. How many years ago when this game started? Right? What was it? 2016? Was that right? 4 years ago.
4
right?
years.
When we started, and Medfill was released around that time, right? I think Lantern. It was like in January.
He was
February.
released in February or
Right.
January.
Yeah.
January.
So he helped me even like punch above my weight just by neutering everyone in the PvE up until you got to the end. You realized that White Lantern Sinestro was doing special damage. Then you're like, oh. So that didn't
Right,
do
but
it.
he let you beat Necron,
Yeah,
which was just
exactly.
a what?
Exactly. So if you're a new player and you're having trouble getting through PvE, then Medfill is definitely going to be clutch for you, for sure.
Yeah, and Lex can do the same thing in PvE now too, so it's not
That's fair.
as big of an issue as it was then.
Yeah.
Because there really was nothing like him then. The closest you got was Arrow, and you had 1 billion strength
Yeah.
down
Yeah, that's fair.
if you crit, and it was difficult to do. So
All right.
I remember going onto the Reddit forum for the first time and seeing that as one of the things. Oh, you have to have Green Arrow. He's the only way to beat Necron.
No.
And I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, he's one of the easy ways to. He's one of the easy characters to farm. So if you didn't have Medfill, he was the other go-to. But I do remember that. Oh. All right. So, hey, any thoughts on the 2 reworks before we continue?
No.
right.
We've talked about them enough.
Fair enough. All right. So let's go to raids this month. So yeah, bonus characters. I don't think anyone's very happy with these bonus characters. Any interesting color
To be
commentary?
fair, raids suck anyway.
Okay. Fair. Let's go to the owls. I guess we'll go through from bottom to top on the list here. So, Loot, any thoughts on raids this time around?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I wrote to Reeves on the. Oh, hang on.
Quick, somebody else talk. Fill the
All
gap.
right, sure. All right, Loot back.
I'll go. I don't
Someone
think
else
they're.
go.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they're too. I mean, the bonus tunes weren't quite as bad as I thought they were going to be. They still stink, but it's really painful when you can't gear a character.
Yep.
And Guy is probably one of the best for raids right now, so it makes it extra painful. And then, I mean, Harley Quinn Quite Vexing's pretty good. I mean, I was able to still kill the level 90 bosses even without Guy, but it took all 1 minute 30 seconds thanks to Determined Lemon's team. But it makes an already painful grind more painful. So,
Yeah.
and then I know this is going to be controversial, but I really wish they would go back to where you could buy 5-packs at $10 instead of 5, because you burn through so much energy. Especially that's the bad thing about these bonus characters is that like the Alliance boss, you had to go 3E, where normally you could just go 1E on these characters, and you just burn through energy, which I almost think they do that on purpose for that reason. That's why we're getting
Money
terrible
grab.
characters.
Secretly track how much spare energy we have.
This is
Yeah.
This is EA testing the waters.
I bet it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, just let me make those packs unlimited. Let me buy as many as I want. I mean, that's
All right.
Well, I think that's really what I would like to see. Just
GA would do
Unlimited.
something like that. So
Kage, any input from another owl's point of view?
No, everything Hate just said. Like,
Fair
what the
enough.
hell?
All right, Kyler, how is raids for you and your alliance?
That was good. For the bonus tune, I just upgrade Harley, but that's all. I didn't upgrade any music tunes.
Yeah.
They're a bit disappointing. No really damage dealer.
Yeah. I feel
And-
the same way.
Yeah, just upgrade Harley and use the Harley. That's all.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for my alliance because this is like the one time I feel like I'm just coasting. I'm not actually really helping my alliance, and I'm the leader too. I'm not really contributing. So,
I mean, that is why I bowed out, DP.
But I mean, this is not.
I felt like I was useless, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna bow out.
This is not because of
That's fun.
this is not because of choice though. It's because of like I don't want to have to gear all these characters that I don't want to use. You know, so it's sort of like where I'm at. But anyways, I'll try my best.
That's choice.
I mean, yeah, fine. Okay, I guess that is choice. Fair enough. That is my choice. Okay, well let's go on to the other aspect of raids. We're talking about the skins now. What do you guys think about the Ivy and the Joker skins? I personally like the Joker tuxedo.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
I like
They look
the
nice.
Ivy skin. I think the Joker skin was really lazy.
You think so? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think they took the exact same skin as Lex and just made it white.
Oh, I see.
It's
what you mean.
actually from the Dark Knight Returns
Is it?
comic. Yeah,
He had a white
Okay.
tuxedo in that?
Joker.
Yeah, he was older and buffer, and
Yeah, his face should have looked older. That was the only thing. My
Oh,
only
okay.
major complaint on there.
Okay.
yeah, he
But
should
they,
have had some crow's feet or something.
Didn't like Ivy that much until I saw it in game, and I love the way it looks in game.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dude,
I'm waiting to see
Ivy.
what the Joker looks like.
dude, Ivy's got some curves, bruh.
Maybe we got to bring up that whole was it the sexiest characters podcast again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skins version.
yeah, she would definitely make the list.
Fair enough. That's cool. All right. I guess not all bad news there. I guess for the raids. So let's wrap things up with some. I guess we don't have too much time left if we want to keep it short. So we'll skip over the August character stuff for the next podcast. So let's do some questions from Discord and from YouTube. So if you guys have questions, please type them into the YouTube or in the YouTube chat or in the Discord chat. And if you want to ask your question on air, please let me know, and I'll give you speaking permissions on Discord. Do we have any questions like right off the bat? Trying to catch up here.
Do we want to promote Kitty Little's Patreon for her cosplays?
Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, hey guys, you should support our artists in the community and be like, hey, cool cosplays, dude. And yeah,
You should not work in marketing.
Kitty has a Patreon, so you can check her out there.
Kitty, what
know
is
that
your
she's got a
Patreon?
lot
Post
of
it.
pictures.
Post it in chat.
Yeah, you can type it in chat. It'll be on the YouTube video too.
You know, she's got a lot of pictures on there that aren't public, so check it out.
Yeah, and she's a supporter of us too, so we want to support her.
we support our
You
community.
paused her
so-
She
Patreon,
paused
so
her Patreon. Oh, okay. Well,
never mind.
all right, fair
Be
enough.
great, Kitty.
All right, well, never mind. Let's see here. SBO's question was: is Kilo now officially the thickest character? Ogre, you want to answer that?
He got them beefcakes.
Dude, Kilo's jacked. Holy shit, man.
I don't know. I mean, what's the evaluation for thick with two C's?
Did you see his legs? Holy!
He's got
No,
bones
I'm
of
not.
steel,
I'm not
dude.
exactly sure what that means. Kaga, can you explain that? You're the kid.
Kid. Means I'm not a boomer like
I'm
you.
like twice your age, dude. Don't even go there.
All right, well, since I'm the only non-Vietnam vet here, thick just refers to the size of your rump. You know, the shapeliness of it, the roundness, the the thickness, the juiciness. You know how packed your jeans are. You know, packing heat on a Tuesday afternoon. Everyone's like, "Dude, are you going to the club?" It's Tuesday. That's thick.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Kilo did not skip leg day.
Yeah.
No, he did not.
LMR, to answer your question about merch, it's a good question. I might try and make some more masks. I might try and make some more fanny packs, but for right now, we don't have anything right off the bat yet.
Yeah, we didn't. Were we going to talk about next month at all? That's one thing 2D's asking in chat.
You mean like going forward next month, or for the characters?
Yeah, just what we think of the characters.
Oh,
Initial thoughts.
I was
It's
gonna say
way
that-
too. It's been 2 days since they packed.
And just
We don't
what
have-
we think, what they look like.
Initial thoughts
Oh,
of Vandal
okay.
Savage. What do you
Let's-
think?
Yeah.
Of
All right, let's gloss over it real quick then. So everyone just let's give it like 30 seconds to a minute. So we'll start with you, Ogre. What do you think?
I think they all look pretty darn interesting to me. I'm personally excited for Grundy. I still need to test him a little more. I'm only got him at 6 right now, so I still have a couple more gear levels. Post raid, when I get some gems, I'll finally finish him up. But They all look really good, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for Grundy because he's the only one you can actually farm.
Fair enough. Okay. Hey, what do you think about the characters?
Grundy, he's all right. He's a little scarier on defense. On offense, he's a little disappointing. I've only keep in mind I've only played them a teeny tiny bit though.
Mhm.
Raz seems pretty interesting, more interesting than I would have thought. Initially, I thought he looked like he was gonna be super god mode, but I thought his passive or his leader was turned into a passive. I didn't realize it was still a leader. That kind of changed my opinion on him. He's still good. He fits the 2D tunes niche where you can bring him in, make him pretty awesome on the right team, but outside of that team, I don't think he's going to see a ton of play. But disease-based teams, he'll be awesome for. Be good with, maybe out of lead with cheetah teams to a lesser degree. But Vandal Savage, from based on what I've seen so far, I'm not excited for him at all, and I'm even considering making him a second slow gear, so that way I'm set for the next year. But I don't know. I'll probably gear him. He looks kind of meh to me though. But Dead Man, his kit looks cool. He does have stuns, but they're not really like true stuns. So I'm not considering him a true stun character for my comps. But his animations are the coolest they've ever done.
I think you
So
coined
that
I think you coined the phrase ghetto stuns.
yeah. So, but I mean, his animations just look so cool, and he just looks like a cool character. Like that, stealing all the buffs and moving them to your team. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably you're gonna see a blue whale come from the sky for him, possibly. So
I think he's going to be a lot of fun too. Yeah. But actually, you brought up a good point about what's his name, Raza Ghul. This is going to be long time coming for Tootie. He must be happy. But
he already has the 45-minute 2D tunes. So
Oh, wow.
if you're interested in Raz, go check that out.
yeah, he's the person to talk to. Now let's see, Kage. What do you think about the new characters?
Haven't run anything super in depth with them. Haven't had the time to really play them. Looking at Vandal's kit, he might be up my playstyle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But based on the feedback I'm hearing, and someone on Reddit put this very succinctly. He's Diet Artemis who has been left out and is a little flat. So
Okay. Okay.
we'll see. I'm not too excited based on
Artemis
hearing
is
that.
really good, so that's a sort of it's a big candle to. It's a difficult sort of barrier to
I get
achieve,
that,
right?
but they have similar functions in their kit, like gain int up, gain crit up,
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
All right,
what are
fair
you gonna
enough. SPO says he's
I
Diet
think-
John Stewart.
do? Oh yeah, I guess you want to play it that way too. That's just
That's
I think Ross. I don't know how we're gonna pronounce that.
They're
going
both
forward.
correct. Both correct.
Okay, Al Ghul, I think he's much better now. I thought they dropped his leader, but I guess they didn't. So he's gonna be okay.
All right, that's fair. Loot, any thoughts on the new characters? Anyone excited for?
Not really. Just to be really blunt, I think all four are pretty lame.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Kyle, you said that you're actually going to probably take a break this month because you went crazy last month. So, what do you think about the new characters?
Well, Denman is really cool, but for Vandal, I don't know. Because if you look at his legendary abilities, it says if he is below 50% heals, you can do this, and he gain mains. So,
Okay.
no, what's the point of the tune? Maybe they will use in the future tunes who sacrifice heals to gain buffs or something like that.
That's interesting. That's actually an interesting mechanic. So, just swapping one buff for a different type of buff or swapping. Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting. But I agree with the fact that a lot of his kit triggers off him being under low life and he heals himself. So that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. We'll talk about these characters a little bit more in depth in the next podcast, probably in a couple of weeks from now. And just to remind you guys, we're going to split these podcasts up into two parts since most of the community liked having one mid-month, but they still like having one at the end of the month too. But we're going to try and keep them shorter. So we're already at 40 minutes, so we're going to wrap things up here for this time around. There was one thing I want to address. I think we mentioned this pretty much every time. So Earl Paddington, if you don't have the the link for the Discord Redditverse in already. You can see it in the description for this video, or by the time this video is published, it should be there. Otherwise, if you are part of the DCL Reddit community, it should be there somewhere too. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who will be able to post that as well. All right, so okay, so let's wrap up the show then. So the next thing, as we do every time, I'll give a shout out to Fries and Airplane at our Lex Luthor level or higher. And we have a couple of new patrons this month. We have Digidax at the Zatanna level and Matt W, who upgraded to the Clark Kent level. So thanks you guys for keeping the lights on. And if you want to be heroes like these guys, consider supporting us over at patreon.com/WROL broadcast. And check out our store at teespring.com/stores/WROL broadcast. And any last words, guys?
Just want to point out that Roz actually makes the 4th disease character for those of you counting.
Fair. Good point. All right. I guess with that, have a good day, guys. See ya.
See you later.
Thanks, see you.